Hello, Mark. All right, let's take a look at your movement first. In bar hop drill, there's definitely different ways or different focuses you can have and results in different things. So right now, what you are doing is never stopping, kind of moving around generally. In this kind of case, yeah, this can definitely help you develop some tracking component because as your body is moving side to side and trying to keep the gun stay on target, it's definitely something yeah, it is a good idea. However, one thing you should also do is this, actually stabilizing your body and then observing your sight. If the gun is stabilizing very stably, yes, of course, if you are moving very stably and with your body, so that's the key. Keeping the body stable even though it's stopping, the gun should also stop stable on target. So two areas that you should be focusing when you do that. So basically having hop, slight pause, confirming the gun stabilize on the target, and hop again, hop again. In that kind of situation, what you really want to work on is that explosive move on the first step. If you look at the first step, you're kind of moving like a ballerina. Very smooth, very stable. That's something we see, yes. Like if you are trying to shoot the middle target on the move and then kind of stop again kind of thing, then yeah, because there's a short transition, you want to move out very smoothly. In that kind of case, it's pretty good. However, what you need in other type of movement is the aggression on your first step. So that's going to be more apparent on the other movement stuff. So let's take a look at your first step again. This is a second run, I think. Very being graceful there. You really need to push rather than sidestepping, very gradual manner, if that makes sense. You want to push, not a gradual movement. Okay, I'm gonna pass just for a second. Let's find some real movement here. Yes. Let's take a look at your push on the exit part. If you notice, your leg is not really, I mean, this angle is kind of hard to tell, but just looking at by second angle and right before the push off, I am not quite seeing the knees. I can definitely see the knees are slightly bent there. So you want to extend your leg as aggressive as possible, as if you are trying to touch the ceiling. This analogy is more described in the video I'm going to put link on down in the description. So make sure to check that out. Check the link out. It's going to definitely help you create more power. I mean, you're a pretty fit dude, but you're just simply not utilizing the explosive step out in the very first step. You're not extending the whole leg into a straight line either. And let's look at the position entry too. The way you enter, I mean, if we just simply look at the gun, not your body, the gun stops pretty immediate. However, the issue is this: you're arriving leaned. That's not gonna be the easiest place to shoot. It's definitely not stable, is one thing, and definitely this can hurt if you had to move to the opposite direction or any direction. You're not really ready to move out again. So that's something not you're gonna see at a match a whole lot, but the opposite direction is completely fine. As you notice, there's no amount of lean there. You're standing like shoulders straight, everything looks stable. It definitely looks like you're ready to go out again with knees bent, everything. It's just the opposite direction. It's just happening. So this one was less leaned, but still leaned out pretty much. That has to be gone. You want to be realistic. You're going to practice the things that you're going to be seeing the most at matches. And this is something you should notice too. If you look at the body, it rises up, and also the gun is rising up with it. As you can see, the gun's rising up. And as soon as your body stops, you're quitting the drill too. So what's going on there is that you're creating that tracking component. First, the gun is the whole time was dragging into the position is one thing. So now you have to, because the gun's up and you're able to shoot, you're in the shooting position. However, the bodies keep dragging. That means you gotta move the gun the same speed of the movement of the drag. That makes sense? In order to keep that gun onto the same spot. If this is an A zone, if the body is moving to the right, you need to keep the gun moving to the left to stay into the same spot. And also the rise at the very end, you can see the gun is rising high. That's another factor that's creating a tracking component. If you don't track it, the gun's gonna be moving away, and also it's gonna be rising up. So the shots are most likely gonna be that direction. Or sorry, if the movement was to the right, I guess it was over there. So otherwise, you have to track it back. But that's not going to be the easiest thing to do. So the simpler way is to minimize that body drag and eliminate the body rise. So keep it low, keep it steady, eliminate the rise. That's going to be making your shots a lot easier and more accurate. A lot of hits going to be much better if you eliminate that. All right, in terms of the reloads, what I would like to recommend is actually do stationary reload first, work on regular stationary reload, and then start adding steps while maintaining your reloads. So what's happening over here is two things happening. First, the grip, you're not really finding that right grip on that fresh mag. As you can see, you're kind of re-gripping, you're trying to grip it right, so that grip is not happening consistently. And second, the gun position looks, if this is your body, it definitely doesn't look the gun was staying in the chest area where we typically reload. It definitely looks like it's away from the body and also to the right. So try to keep that same position. So this is why I'm recommending you to do stationary reload, to actually develop a better stationary reload and try to keep the same position with the gun and same grip and everything as you are moving around a little bit. And one last thing is the rotational factor. When you're moving to the right or left, your shoulder position, if you notice, is kind of slightly rotating at the same time as well. And the hip as well. Hip is more faced that way, and hip is now tilting a little bit. Those kind of rotation will definitely change the position of the mag pouch a little bit. So that's something that you should notice that's happening. And one thing, there's two ways to think about this. In this short step movement where you're only moving 2 to 3 steps, about 3 steps, you can either think in terms of keeping that body downrange, so moving completely sideways so the mag pouch or the hip is not rotating in between movement. That's one way to think about it, to keep that everything more consistent. If it's a long run, like a 5, 6, 7 steps, that's a totally different situation because you have a longer steps, more time to figure things out. However, in the shorter steps where the reload speed really matters, like over here, you should have been already shooting, but you're trying to figure out the reload. So to make it more easier and consistent, keep everything, hip, shoulders, everything downrange and move sideways. One way. Second way is, you can definitely rotate things. However, do like a walkthrough run. So make sure you're programming where the mag pouch is going to be positioned, how your elbow or how your grip on the fresh mag is going to happen, which angle is the mag pouch going to be, things like that. So basically doing a walkthrough run and then actually doing it. Then you are basically shooting like a match as well. So that's going to help you even improve the match performance, being able to visualize and execute higher level. And secondly, this way, if you actually notice a mistake as you are doing walkthrough process, and you're not going to have the gun out in the walkthrough process. Of course, that's not legal in USPSA. So as you have your left hand touching the index spot on the pouch or re-gripping process, all those kind of stuff, if you notice a mistake in the walkthrough or visualization process, just do that spot one more time wherever you made a mistake. So let's say if your palm was not hitting the base pad correctly, then just do that segment one more time to familiarize where it's going to be and program it correctly and execute it. That's going to really help you to fix the issues in the walkthrough process, which really helps in the match performance too. All right, I'll talk to you next time.